Hey everybody, welcome to the Ultimate Freedom webinar. It is Monday afternoon here in the States, Monday evening in the UK, and we're going to be doing some cash copywriting today, so I'm excited. I just got on a little late, so I'm going to grab a couple people, bring a panel over if anybody wants to play L1 and above. I'm going to invite you. If you can play, come play. If you can't, that's okay. And the rest of you guys, make sure you have a notebook ready. For all of you that are MLSP members, this will be recorded. We'll put in the back, be put in the back office for you. You may want to refer to it again. For those of you that are not members, we'll tell you how you can get a trial so you can get access. Hello, Bertola. How are you?
Good.
Everybody, the incredible Bert Bledsoe.
Hey.
Hello. Let me see him. I'm not hearing you well, but it could be me.
Oh, I can. Is that better?
Yeah. I think it was me and my volume. So let me grab a couple other people, see if anybody else wants to come out and play.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bob. Everybody, this is Bob Clark. I'm looking for you guys. I think I saw Patricia. I don't know if she's free or not to come on, but I think I clicked on her. There she comes.
Yep.
Let's see. All right. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do some writing. You guys into doing some writing?
Sure.
Writing is always good.
Bert is muted, I think.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was. I was all excited because I read another email. Now I'm on your list, and I was like, cash copy? We're going to write. And then I was like, hey, I'm already signed up. I was all excited. I was like, yeah, I'm already signed up for that.
And not only were you already signed up for the webinar, but you are one of the guys on the webinar. So
I know, right? I didn't even know. I was like, hey, look at this.
Hello, Miss Patricia. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, everybody. It's Monday. I'm sorry you're not feeling so hot, but you look lovely. So nobody would know if you hadn't told everybody.
What about, oh, yeah, I'm sniffly and I'm all whatever. You know what? I've given up. In the day and age of Hangouts, you just got to give in.
Go with it. Yeah, I was up all night. I rolled out of bed like an hour ago. So.
You're my kind of woman. I like
Yeah,
it.
look, so, it's like when you hang out at home, you hang out in your pajama pants.
See, I got dressed for all of you. I'm impressed. So recently, but I did get dressed.
You're beating all of us in.
All right, we'll start with this crew, and guys, if there's any of you guys that I missed that wanted to come out, if you're at L1 leader or above, give a shout out in the chat or something. I'll find you in a few minutes, but I don't want to keep y'all waiting. I want to get going. We have a good crowd here today. I do see that the UK is in the house. We got Canada in the house. There's a bunch of you guys in the house. So awesome. So look, all I have to do is say I'm doing copy, and the attendance goes up. That's good. And we didn't even officially promote it to the whole database, so we were just mumbling about it. Awesome. For those of you that are not members but you're visiting here today, I just want to real quick, in the chat, I'm going to push out the link, but it's really simple. It's just mlsp.com. There's all different ones that I could give you, but that's the easiest one to go to, just http://mlsp.com. Oops. And you can go there and find the trial and all this other stuff, because this is something that, first of all, get back to the person that invited you. You really want to check out what we have going on here. We are the premier training organization for people that have home businesses learning internet marketing. But this clinic that we're about to do, you very well may want to have the replay. So grab a trial, see if you like us. If you like us, we'll feel good and stay and continue to learn with all our incredible training. But if for any reason you just want that replay, you can grab a trial, spend a week with us or whatever. And if for any reason it's not for you, cancel. It is what it is. I mean, I don't think you should. I think you'd be pretty smart to stay here, but you got to do what you got to do. So take a look, guys. By the way, that's called risk reversal. For those of you that are experienced marketers, risk reversal. The risk is all ours, not yours. If nothing else, you're going to get a great copy clinic. So let's talk a little bit about copy and why copy and some of the misperceptions that people have about copywriting. Guys, there is fancy-dancy copywriting. Make no mistake, there's people that make millions of dollars a year being copywriters. But in your home business, there are some copywriting skills that you can learn that are fairly simple, can be picked up fairly quickly, and they're going to make a very, very big difference in how you do in your business, because your copy, one, it builds your relationship with the people that are on your list. Okay, build your relationship, and as people get to know you and feel like they're, part of your life and so on, they're going to get closer to you. They're much more likely to buy from you. Two, it's going to give you a vehicle to communicate with people and invite them to different presentations, webinars, and events that are going on in your business. So one of the reasons why some marketers just do so well, excuse me for a second, is not because we're so amazingly talented. It's just because we've compiled this great list of people, and somebody like any of us guys, we can invite hundreds of people to an event. Like Wednesday night, Patricia, you did last Wednesday night, that's correct? Last Wednesday. So last Wednesday night we had an incredible training, and Patricia Sweeney did it, and I can send out an email, and I can invite, at this point of my career, I've been doing this for 14 years, I can invite thousands of people to come down and hang out with Patricia. So if I invite thousands of people, the chances of my getting a bunch of people on, even if I only got 20 people onto a webinar, that would be really great, because 20 people are getting exposed, 20 people are potentially buying or upgrading. So most folks, they're struggling to get 1 or 2 people in front of a presentation. If you learn how to write some copy and you learn how to build your list through the instructions we give you here at MLSP, it's easy to get hundreds of people onto a presentation. If you put hundreds of people in front of a presentation for any of your revenue streams, what happens? Guys, what happens? If you get 100 people in front of a good presentation, what happens?
You're going to make some sales.
Yeah, you're going to make some money.
Right.
So copy is really critical. And today we're just going to focus on some letters, but also writing headlines, real important, of course, headlines that can go for the headline or the subject line of our emails, headlines on our capture pages, all your Facebook marketing, your Twitter marketing is really rotating around a headline. Okay, and then everything else from there, getting into being able to write letters. So I'm going to go into the chat. Guys, in the chat, give me something. What should we write a letter about today? Do you guys have a preference over here? Anybody got something hot they want to write about? I'm open. I mean, I'd like to write maybe about one of the products or one of the webinars. Who's doing Wednesday night? Did you guys see yet? I don't know.
Roxana.
Oh, Roxana's doing Wednesday? I thought she was doing Tuesday. I saw something.
I thought it said she was doing Wednesday.
Yeah, she's doing Wednesday.
Okay.
Really? What's Roxy talking about? All her insights and amazing things?
Yeah. 5 years of behind the scenes.
Okay.
Learned.
Okay.
She's, amassed over 5 years of being behind the scenes in one of the top lead generation systems.
The longest standing by far, we've been around for a long time. I mean, 5 years in internet years is like dog years, I think a year is worth at least 11 years in the real world, so we're pretty old. So what is everybody? Hey, Aaron Parker, what's going on? Aaron's new to MLSP, brought a whole crew over. Good to see you over here. Awesome, awesome. So what do you guys want to write about? Do you want to write about the Sponsoring Secrets product? Is that one raised? I'm such a leader here, I forget whose is whose.
Yeah, it is. Well, you could do, I like the 5K in 30 days. That's fun. That's a great
5K in 30 days, I think, is a great one to work on. I think that's a good one. Guys, let me turn on my screen, and we'll show you some fun stuff. Now, if you have not been through your back office training, it's pretty cool. Hang on, let's close some windows here before we start showing peekaboo.
Oh, there she went.
She closed her own window.
She did. She closed the Hangout window. She'll be back in a minute.
Hiding from herself, guys. Okay.
Oh,
I'll be back. That's
we had
the
some
fun.
crazy peekaboo stuff going on. That's what it was.
Right?
That's funny.
But yeah, I guess the 5K in 30 days is she'll show you guys some copy for that one. And it's funny because we actually have a custom campaign specific to that for like email follow-up. And when I incorporated that finally into my list that I was pushing leads for that particular product, I got a ton of sales and a lot of people interacting with that copy. So it's huge, guys. You can build a list all you want, but if you don't know how to talk to them, if you don't know how to get them to open your emails or click any of your links or respond to you, then you're not going to actually get anywhere with all those people on your list. They're just going to be sitting there as a number that's not going to help your business grow. So I'm really excited Diane's talking about this information today. But it's definitely something you practice at, isn't it, Bob?
Absolutely. And, it's something, it's like a craft. You start out, you don't know what you're doing. And like you said, Patricia, I mean, the hardest thing is getting people to open. I'm sure
Right.
we're going to talk about that today, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, no, Diane is awesome at creating curiosity. She always says that is absolutely our function as marketers is to create curiosity. Yep. It's not to sell people, it's not to do anything, it's to create curiosity, to promote different events and get people to them. And here she is.
Did you guys enjoy? Of course, as I was closing tabs,
yes, we made fun of you. Don't worry.
Y'all do not need to be. You do not need to be good on a computer to. Poor Aaron. Aaron's here today. He's like probably looking at me, going, "Oh my gosh, this is what we have for." Guys, listen. I am a digital dingbat. I was named that several years ago. I am like the worst on a computer. I'm not afraid to admit it. So if you're not technical, take heart. And if you are technical, think about how much faster than me you could go. Although I will tell you, guys, everything's about communication. I came into the community. I made L3 in 24 hours, I think. I made L4 in like 90 days. I don't know how long it took to make L5. So, and these are just our leadership levels. Guys, it's about communication, and that's why today is so important, what we're talking about. So I am a dingbat. I still don't know how to run everything, and I am not embarrassed about it. So so there we go. Let's go into the back office here. Can you guys see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, if you're new here and you don't even know what an autoresponder is or anything like that, there's this button, and it's called Start Here, and guess what? That's where you start. So just go through the training. This is a little bit more of an advanced training today. So if you have not done your basic training, go ahead there, start here and get set up, and then tomorrow night, Dean and Mary Black every week take people and walk through the basics. So definitely listen for concept today, but if you haven't set up, and I'm talking a little bit about autoresponders, don't worry, we've got you covered. All the training that you need and more is in here. Now, when I'm talking about our different tools and different things that we can sell and write letters about, back here in our back office, we have different campaigns. We have the campaigns, MLSP campaigns, and these are for our actual membership levels. We have the pure profit campaigns. These are for those of you that are at our mastery level, and if you're not yet, ask the person that brought you here, your benefactor here at the MLSP, ask them about upgrading to mastery, because you get to make all the profit on these particular products. So it's really cool because you're keeping every dime of the profit except for the processing cost. Then we have product campaigns. These are available to everybody in the community no matter what level you're at. And then we have system campaigns. These are free trainings that you can give away to people. It's basically what we call an ethical bribe. We're going to give you a great free training in exchange for you putting in your name and email. So we have a little bit of everything. I'm going to sneeze. Ready for it? Whoa, that was impressive. I'm glad I'm not on camera there. So let's go in here in the profit campaigns, because these are my favorite because we make the most money with them, right? And we like them. Mm-hmm. And the profit campaigns. Now I'm gonna admit to you guys, because some of you guys might see my stats here, I tend to sell through my own personal list, so I'm not always using capture pages and so on. So you might see my stats aren't as big as somebody else's in the way they do it, but let's put it this way, I did pretty darn well last year with MLSP, enough said. So here's the capture page. Okay, it's 4 different $10,000 per month income earners were kidnapped and forced to come clean. Free 32-minute video reveals how 4 top earners would make $5,000 in the next 30 days online if they had to start from scratch. So this is the offer. The course is $27. Okay, just so you guys know, it tells you right here. Okay, and there's more than one capture page for it. And over here, we have the link to the capture page, the link to the thank you page. For example, if the people are already on your list, you may not want to force them to opt in again. And again, if you're new and you don't know what opt-in and all that means, I encourage you, go, you might even want to get off this webinar, watch the replay. Go ahead to the Start Here section. It's going to explain all of that to you. Jump on tomorrow night with Mary and Dean and learn the basics. I don't want to make your head spin today. But we also have a link to the direct order page. So depending on who you're dealing with, cold market here, if we're running an ad, we'd send them to the capture page. If they're already on my list, I might send them to the presentation. That's here. The thank you page link is the presentation. And let's say I'm talking to somebody on the phone, like I'm talking to Bert, and I'm like, Bert, you got to get this course. It's it's Michelle and the guys, and they're showing you if they had 30 days and they had to start over, what they do. You want it? And Bert says yes. I just send him the order link. Okay, I won't. If Bert has made a decision that he wants it, I'm not going to send him to a presentation. I just want to get his order. So that right there alone is gold, guys. If you have somebody who says, I want something, send them the place to put in their credit card. Okay, don't send them something that they have to sit for 20 minutes and watch something. Big tip right there alone. Same thing with your different revenue streams. If you're talking to someone, they want to sign up, you don't send them to the webinar to watch somebody talk for an hour about it. You just take their information and get them signed up. So we have this already here. So everybody with me so far?
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to write in a notepad, but normally you can write in an autoresponder. Okay. Now, depending on your autoresponder, check with the person that brought you to the community. Everybody has a different preference. I tend to use Aweber. I've been using it for 10 years. It's very reliable. We do give you a free autoresponder to start with here at MLSP. You can hold up to 500 leads in there. So that's pretty cool if you're just starting out. For those of you that are a little more advanced, we do integrate with GetResponse, GVO, and Aweber. So we got a little bit of everything. But I'm just going to write in a notepad today. Okay. Now, what's the most important part of your email is going to be your subject line. Okay, a lot of people forget this. If your subject line isn't good, then nobody's going to open the email, period. Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys? Those of you, I can't see you guys, so that makes sense, right?
Yes.
So let's work on a subject line, and let's do this as a team. Let's work on a subject line that might get someone to open. And by the way, I'm the worst typist in the world, disclaimer, but you will learn some good copywriting tips today. So what can we do for 5K, the 5K in 30 days course? What would be a great subject line? What do you got? Anything?
Me? Okay.
Anybody?
I would use
I can't see you guys when I'm on my
something.
screen.
Okay, it's Bob. I would use something like we tied them up and made them tell us all their secrets or something like that.
Well, that's a little long. Tighten that up a little bit, Bob.
Okay.
Well, take your time. Guys, by the way, writing emails is an art. They don't have to be complicated, but we want to write something. When we're going to write a headline to get them to open, what I always tell people is you need to create a question mark in the head of the reader, in the mind of the reader. We want to just tattoo a big question mark on their forehead and make them curious or nosy, right? So when we write something weird, I'll make a true confession right now. The other day I wrote an email and my headline was taking a dump.
Yeah, that was classic.
And people were outraged. They were like, what is she talking about? This is like a 47-year-old woman, and she's talking about taking a dump. And the inside it said, no, it's not what you think. It's a mind dump. I'm going to dump some gold nuggets tonight. But it made everybody open. And in fact, my open rate, I think, was 32% for that email.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Wow,
Taking
that
a
is
dump,
awesome.
right? So writing something a little controversial or something that creates a question mark or curiosity is going to help people open the email. If they don't open the email, I don't care if you wrote poetry, you could be Shakespeare, but if they don't read it, it doesn't matter. So Bob, I like the direction that you're going in. We just need to make it a little tight. The one that I've used for this one is we hung them by their toes. But you guys can go in any direction you want. And guys, in the chat, feel free to write some headlines. Feel free to just, practice along with us. See, when I say, by the way, here we go with my typing. Sorry. We hung them by their toes, ... When I write something like that, it makes people go, what the heck is she talking about? And that's exactly what you're going for. Anyone got another idea for something for this?
Well, go ahead, Bert.
Patricia, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love that one. The hang 'em by it. I mean, something because it speaks to the product. I'm new. Is there hope for 5K in 30 days?
Okay, I like that. Now I'm gonna give you my vibe, and my vibe is different than others, so I always put the disclaimer on here. Mr. Brian Finale gave me this webinar on Mondays, and he gave me permission to do it my way. So I sometimes contradict what some other marketers teach. So if I do, again, I'm just being creative, but I think that if somebody smells sales coming, guys, if you can smell that somebody's going to try to sell you, are you more likely or less likely to open up?
Probably less likely.
Less, yeah.
So with this headline, I think cold market, people that don't know you, that responded to an ad about making money, I think that's an incredible headline. For cold market people that responded to an ad about making money, I think that that's awesome. Warm market, and what I mean is your lists that you've already developed and people that you want to continually read, open your emails, I think that they're less likely to open this if they've been around you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that for a minute, guys. Cold market. I'm sorry, guys. I can't see. That's my excuse, Bob, and I'm sticking with it. Cold market would be if we're running an ad. Maybe we're running a Facebook pay-per-click ad. Maybe we're running a solo ad. Okay, and again, if you don't know about these, you're going to learn about them in our back office. MLSP.com. You're already coded. If you're here today, you're coded to the person that invited you, so don't worry about whether it's all linked up. It is, and you can find out about our trial and our whole company there. I can give you some other links to specific levels in a little bit. Cold market, people that don't know you. Okay, and people that don't know us, for about 7 to 10 letters, we want to have stuff that addresses what they're asking for. So if they want to learn about making money, or they want to learn about lead generation, or they want to learn whatever they responded to, for 7 to 10 letters, we want to have some fairly straightforward copy and headlines. Something like this is great. I'm brand new. Is there hope for 5K in 30 days? Cold market, people that don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
But by the 7th letter or so, we want to really start to develop our character and who we are in their lives. And so if these people have been around you for a while, if I wrote that to my list, my open rate probably wouldn't be as good, simply because this is my warm list that I've warmed up, that they've been around me for a while. And that's why I write some crazy headlines, because I want to keep them interested. So do you guys follow the difference, warm versus cold? Warm market is people that have been with you for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or people that know you. So it depends. If I'm writing to my existing warm list, I got to suck them in. If I'm writing to somebody who's brand new and wants to learn how to make $5,000 quick, perfect. And it's important that you know the difference, who know you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, if you're marketing with videos, believe it or not, the people that opt in are generally much warmer than if you're marketing with a solo. A lot of us here at MLSP have really perfected that video marketing, and video marketing makes them feel closer to you. They feel like they know you. So the approach is a little bit different depending on who we're going with. Okay, who we're talking to. If we're doing a solo ad, they know nothing about you. They've never seen you. They haven't heard you speak. They haven't, they don't know you. It's a very different animal. Okay, here at MLSP, because we're an attraction marketing entity, we try to teach you, and we're pretty darn good at it. We've been around for 5 years training the best of the best in the industry. We teach you how to get your cold market to be warm very fast, which is really cool. Because who's it easier to sell, people that don't know you or people that do know you?
Do know.
Yeah. So the faster we can warm these people up and get them to feel like they know, like, and trust you, the faster we can make sales with them. So 2 examples of headlines. Let's have one more. Anybody got one more? Bert, did you have one?
I got one, but mine, and I don't know if I know I go kind of against the flow here, but my first thought was a headline was they got moves like Jagger because we just came out with the Grammys. People are like, "What's he talking about?" They got moves
I
like
like
Jagger.
that.
And then we can
Is
do
it
a
you,
whole,
Jason Jagger?
whole story about how they dancing around, they got moves, they're superstars, and then into.
I like that one. I like that. And again, that creates a question mark, and it also is using a lyric that most people are familiar with. Guys, if you use lines from movies or songs that don't pick obscure weird ones from Metallica in 1992 or something, you need something that's pretty mainstream, like a Beatles lyric or a Billy Joel lyric or an Elton John lyric. You know, in this case, everybody knows this song, Moves Like Jagger. Okay? So if you use a line from, like if I put Bueller, most people would know what that reference was. If we use what you talking about, Willis, most people will know what that reference is. If I take a weird reference from a channel that nobody watches, then you're not going to get the same reaction. But using those things are very, very, very effective. I use song lyrics a lot, so awesome. So you guys get the idea about headlines and whether they're for cold market or warm market. Cold market, it can smell like sales and money making all day. Warm market, you got to be a little bit more subtle. You got to be a little bit more, you know, skilled in the way you're communicating. So that's cool. Let me check the chat for a minute and see if we got any questions or comments coming in, because I can't see it right now. Let's see. We'll come back for a second. Anyone got anything? Let's see. Some people put some out. Let me see. We bound and gagged them. I wouldn't go that far, Angela. Okay. Somebody says, "Oh my God, we are buying dirty diapers." They are buying dirty diapers. Okay. Yippee-ki-ya, mofo. Okay. We shook the truth out of them. Are you ready for the fact 5K in 30 days? Good. They had no idea we filmed this. We want their 5K in 30-day secrets. Now that's Mark. That's a little bit too long for a headline, but I like they had no idea we filmed this. I like that.
Yep.
Charles, I don't know about profit from bondage, but okay.
This is all that 50 Shades of Grey fans out in the chat today.
There's a little bit of pushing off the envelope this afternoon.
A little bit. I can't see the chat, by the way. Just we can't interact.
Oh, you can't see it?
No, I can't either.
Oh, I can.
Oh, awesome. Bert, tear it up.
I'm watching it. No, I was just watching all of it because they were going crazy, and I was like, "Now the gag." I was just going.
How come you can't see the chat? You should be able to see the chat.
It's just been acting kind of kooky the last week or so. It's all good.
Yeah, the app stuff. Yeah, it is what it is. What it is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So Amelia asked, should we have a separate AWeber list for each product? Amelia, if you're going cold market to sell the product, if you're going to be running ads, I recommend you do. If you're selling to one main list, I tend to have one main marketing list, Diane Hockman, and then I will sell different products and services, you know, different pure profit products and things to my list. So I only have one. Why do I have one? Because I'm ADHD and it's just too much for me. I'm not afraid to say it. Now, I'll never use the O word that everybody uses, overwhelmed. I won't use it. It won't fall from my lips. But I do streamline my business to counteract my strengths and weaknesses, you know. I'm real good at certain things. I'm not real good at others. And managing 27 different lists, if you're good at that, definitely do it because you can segment them. There's all kinds of cool things you can do with your autoresponder. I am not the person to teach that to you, okay? But once again, I seem to be doing pretty darn well. You know, I seem to be an L5 leader here. I seem to have a lot of revenue coming in from all of this. So, you know, I think there's a place for everybody and different, you know, breaking into what you're good at. So everybody understand the concept of the headline. The headline has to create a question mark or make the person see the promise of what's inside that might give them what they want. Okay, the promise. I'm gonna, like, if I'm looking for new shoes and Macy's has a shoe sale, and I see the headline, and I want shoes, there's the promise that my shoes might be there, I'll go over to Macy's. If I'm not looking for shoes and they're having a shoe sale, then I'm not going to go. But if they say something curious like mystery sale, come in and pick up a card and scratch off and you'll get a discount, it could be anywhere from 20 to 50%, I might go to the store just for the discount. So Patricia's a shopper. She's shaking her head. So it could be, you know, varied, but that mystery discount has more broad appeal than shoe discount. Everybody follow that. So let's move on. But is everybody good with headlines? Headlines have to create a question mark or present the promise of what's inside. Otherwise, they don't open. If they don't open, you got nothing. Okay? Go back now. Everybody seems happy. All right.
Some good stuff.
Bert or Bob, can you see the chat or you can't see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Okay, keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them, okay? Because they're getting out of hand over there. I see them, Bert.
Okay.
Watch them. Keep your eye on them. All right. All right. So, cold market, warm market, who you're writing to is very important to understand the difference, okay? By the way, if you're new or even if you're not new and you haven't gotten up to it yet, we give you a beautiful letter set already done for you here at MLSP. That's a general letter set about our services, okay, that we give to you. You can edit, you can use as is, plug them in. They're a beautiful, professionally written letter set. But I want to teach you guys how to do a little writing of your own. So we're going to get rid of this. Okay. So I liked the Moves Like Jagger. So now that dot use dot a lot of times because dot what it does is it leaves it's like an open loop. It's just sitting there and people psychologically have to click and open the email to continue. The dot is like, you know, that hanging thing. You have to go. So dot is very powerful in your copy. You have to see these guys. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this smaller so you guys can see. Excuse me. I want to teach you a little bit about formatting because it's important, but now my computer's doing the evil loop of, I'm on my old computer. I got a new one. Let's see.
Did you get it? You didn't get a Mac, did you?
I did not. I already told you all. I will not buy a Mac. Somebody will give me one when I win it in a contest, and until then I will not buy one.
I think Bert and I are going to make a contest just for you, Diane.
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to create that contest. Sounds like a no-brainer every time she says that.
I just won another contest. And what did I win? I won cash again. So they keep giving me money, and I won't spend the money on the computer. I don't know what it is. It's like a mental block. I want to win a cool prize. You have to see these guys. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, when you write, okay, an email, you never write wide in big paragraphs like in a book. Okay, and the reason why is simple, and I would do my "Where's your right hand, Bob" joke, but we don't have time today, and I always make Bob blush when I do it. Guys, when people are reading on the internet, they're scrolling down. Okay, you all are. When we read something on the internet, we scroll down, and what we're doing, our eyes are scanning to determine, is there anything valuable for me in here? Is there anything that's going to help me? And most people, when they look at emails, the first thing they do is they look at the headline and decide whether they're deleting or opening, and when they open, they scan very, very quickly to determine, should I bother to read this? If there's nothing there that tells them to read, they're deleting. So you're up against the clock. So when you format your letter, it has to be very easy on the eyes, which means there has to be a lot of space. It can't be wide. It can't be in blocks. I'll show you some formatting. It's very, very important because if you write a letter that's a big fat paragraph after paragraph, it's very hard to read. The chances of the reader actually reading the words is nil. You've canceled yourself out. So you'll see when people write on the internet, they're generally writing like this. You have to see these guys. They are so smooth. if they were dancers, they would have the move. See, and what we're going to do is loop down. I'm going to do this. By the way, be patient. I correct everything at the end. I'm really not a good typist. They would have the moves like Jagger, but they're not dancers. They're marketers. And let me tell you, these guys are slick. They could turn cow chips into cash. They could make money out of, what word do I want here? Make money out of thin air. They can, I'll work on this in a second, but let me show you the formatting, okay? What we're doing is we're writing like we talk. Write that down. I need to write like I talk, which means when there's pauses, there's spaces, okay? If there's no pauses and there's no spaces, but what we're doing is we're wrapping everything so it's very tight, it does not go wide, and if you read it aloud, it sounds smooth. You have to see these guys. They are so smooth. If they were dancers, they'd have the moves like Jagger, but they're not dancers. They're marketers, and let me tell you, these guys are slick. They could turn cow chips into cash. They could, they can make money out of thin air. Okay, you see how when I read it, it's written like it would sound? This is really important because what we want is to create our voice in the head of the reader. Now, in the beginning, they don't know you. It's not that big of a deal. But over time, as you develop your presence, remember, we're learning to brand ourselves. We're learning to have a company of our own. And when people read your letters, if they can hear you, figuratively, you're talking to them. And you're talking to them one-on-one, because let's face it, how many people, I don't care if you have a list of 10 gazillion people, how many people read the letter at once? What do you guys think? How many people are reading? I know you guys know this because you've been through these courses, but I just want you to represent the audience. When somebody's reading the letter, how many people are with you?
How many, you mean like how many people are opening that email and actually reading it? Maybe anywhere from 4 to 6% of your list, but it's over the course of time. Depends on when they open it. It doesn't
but,
like you don't.
Yeah, but that's not where I'm going, Patricia. What I mean, Patricia, what I mean. No, that's okay because you are correct. You are correct. And by the way, the open rates can be really amazingly high if you learn some of these different skills, all you guys, and it takes time. But Patricia, if I send out an email and you're on my list, when you open it, how many people, it's me and you, is it not? So you're not even aware of all the other people that are reading the letter, even though thousands of people might have read the letter today. When you read it, the experience is of you and me.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Follow what I mean? So I asked the question poorly. I apologize. So for all of you guys, you're looking to build this intimate relationship between you and your reader, and you have to understand there's only one at a time. You write to one person. I don't care how big your list is. You write to one person at a time. So when I wrote, and that's why I love Bert, because when Bert read my letter today, Bert thought and believes in his heart and soul that that letter was for him. And you know what? The letter was for him. But it was also for Bob, and it was also for Patricia, and it was also for Aaron, it was also for Aurora, and it was also for everybody that read it. Because when we write, we have to realize we're talking to one person. We're just doing it en masse. And that's a big mistake that people make in writing their copy because they're writing to a group. Good copywriters are writing to one person, because your reader could give a crap, excuse my word, but they don't care about anybody else but themselves. So it's very important that when we write, it sounds and feels like we're only talking to them.
Hey,
Does that
Diane,
make sense? Yeah, but
you know, I've had a couple people reply to my emails, and their response was, you know, I always feel like you're talking just to me, and that to me is like the best compliment I can get as an email marketer, and it's because I'm just following basically what you're teaching today. So people need to pay attention to that stuff.
It's really, really, really important, because if there's an intimacy between you and your prospect, there becomes a trust bond. And when there's a trust bond, and the intimacy starts with the headline, and then it moves in through the copy, and then they start to feel safe with you, so they will follow your direction or your call to action, which we'll get to. Hopefully we'll get this all done today, because I do have an appointment right after this, so hopefully we'll get some real good stuff in. But so write this down, guys, as a tip. When you finish writing your letter, always read it aloud. Like literally out loud. I know that sounds crazy, but if you read your letter aloud, you will hear where it's messed up, where it's not sitting right. And if you've written things too close together, you'll instantly feel it. You'll be able to go back and correct it. So you have to see these guys. They are so smooth. If they were dancers, they'd have the moves like Jagger, but they're not dancers. There's marketer. And let me tell you, these guys are slick. They could turn cow chips into cash. They can make money out of thin air. And recently, we took 4 of them and locked them up in a room and asked them if we took away, and by the way, where would I get this information? Read the copy on the website. Let's find the website. Here's the copy. You could even lift part of this, or you can just paraphrase it. Like this part right here, you could lift this copy right here. We took 4 of them and asked them if they had to make $5,000 in the next 30 days online, and if they had to start from scratch with no list, no this, no that. And here's what came out, okay? And then we could literally use this. In fact, maybe I'll just use it. By the way, are you allowed to use copy that MLSP gives you to promote the products at MLSP? Absolutely!
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. And recently we took 4 of them and locked them up in a room and asked them, if we took away your lists, if we took away your videos.
Hey, Diane, when you get finished with this next couple sentences, there was one good, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff put in, but there was a good question in the chat that probably you want.
Cool, Bert, thank you. Let me finish this part and then we'll do it without it. If we took away your videos, if we took away your fan base, no, that's the same as the list. If we took away your advertising, how would you make $5K in 30 days? And this is what came out. Paste. And this is too big right now, but this is the copy that I just took off the website, and I have to reformat it, and I don't have time to. But do you understand I could put bullet points here and use this copy right off the website. So it says in minute 9, and I have to edit this because it's written in a different frame. In minute 9, they revealed the simple 3-step formula. So I'd have to fix this up a little bit, but you guys understand, I don't have to come up with this on my own. So if you want to see how to make $5K in 30 days from scratch, all you have to whoops, click here. Okay, and I would make a little link. Now, being me and being who I am, I do something funny like this. Disclaimer. Yes, this is a product that costs a few bucks. $27 to be exact. Yes, I own it. Now, obviously, you would only say this if you do own it. And I encourage you guys, I'll give you the link. Go get this product. It's 27 bucks. How can you go wrong today? 27 bucks and you get 4 top marketers telling you what they do. If you guys don't own this product, it's a great product. Okay? Yes, I own it. Yes, I am recommending it to you because it is that good. Yes, you can sell this product too if you love it. Just ask me how. By the way, what am I doing right here?
Promoting.
What am I promoting? I'm not just promoting the product. What am I going to get them to ask me to do?
Join MLSP.
Yeah, I'm going to get them to beg me to join MLSP. Okay? So remember, this part is not formatted correctly. It needs to be made not wide. But what we've learned so far is don't write wide and in blocks. Leave lots of spaces. Make it look and like you would sound. Okay, so that's coming out weird. Read it aloud, and you'll be able to hear. The ... is the technique when there's a pause. Okay, and you have to read it because sometimes you need to loop it. Like right here, if I put a space here, then it would be, and recently we took 4 of them and locked them up in a room and asked them. See, that would be weird. So you have to space it like you sound. Takes a little practice. Look how easy it is to read this. If you're the viewer, look how easy, because there's lots of spaces. And then let's take the question that Bert has from the audience, and then I'm going to show you a couple of other things, and then you guys can start working on your own letter. Bert, what was the question?
The question was, and I didn't want to answer it in the chat because I figured you would probably want to address it. It says, Diane, do you have a specific person in your head, like an old friend, that you're specifically writing to? Like, are you thinking of someone when you're writing your...
Yeah. What I do is, because I've been doing this for quite a while, I encourage all you guys to sit down and figure out, it's called creating an avatar. Who is your ultimate customer? Who would you love to work with? Who would you love to have on your team? And start to describe that person to yourself. I literally in the past have drawn pictures of this person, etc., etc. Now today, after almost 15 years, in my mind, I have all the stuff that most people are thinking. Okay, I know what their struggles are, what their challenges are, what their triggers are, etc. But I do think of it as one person, and I don't have a name for them today. I just call them the guy. And I don't know why it's a boy for me. I don't know why it's a boy, but it could be a girl for you. But it's this conglomeration of all the concerns that people have. I encourage all of my own students, they have a notebook for their prospect. And every time they learn a new thing about who these people are, who their audience is, what their struggles are, what their concerns are, every time they learn something new, I want them to put it in that notebook. And I want them to fill that notebook up with details. And I'm talking minute details. Like, for example, my people tend to be a little bit more mature because I'm a little bit more mature. I don't get guys in their 20s. I tend to get people that have mortgages, kids, worrying about tuition, worrying about retirement. I could tell you about my people all day long. I know them inside out, upside down, and that's what you guys want to do over time. But in the meantime, it could just be Sally. You know, it could be Sally. So that's a cool question. I love that. As long as you remember you're talking to one person, and that one person is probably a lot like you, that's going to make a difference for you guys.
And Diane had a quick question about what you've done there. Is I noticed that you only put your link in the bottom. Do you go through and then put the link, click here, multiple places?
No,
No,
no, no,
okay.
no, no. And here's why. Again, cold market versus warm market. This is such good stuff that's coming up. If you are running a solo ad, you want to run people into a very, very aggressive sales series for 7 to 10 days that has click here, all that stuff. Very, very, very aggressive. I'm building a list that will be with me for years. I have readers that have been with me for 6, 7, 8 years. I have people that if I talk to my list like that, they will leave. So here's the difference, Patricia. It's profound, and I talk about this with social media a lot. Patricia, if I said I have a store and I sell widgets, come on down to my widget store, and you walked into my store and I had widgets displayed and I had salespeople that said, "Hi, are you looking for a particular type of widget?" Would you be offended?
No.
Because you went to a store and you
Right.
expected that there would be sales displays and salespeople and people talking about widgets.
Mhm.
But if I invited you over to my living room for coffee and you came in and I had sales displays and all of a sudden I was pitching you, would you be offended?
Yes.
Right? It would be weird, okay?
Right.
Here's the thing about attraction marketing. This is my opinion, and I've been around since before they called it attraction marketing. The difference between, if you send someone into a sales series and they expect it to be a sales series, they're not offended. They want to know, like if you're on Warrior Forum, for those of you that know what that is, and somebody has a sales thing and it's about a new plugin for my blog. And I click and I opt in and they keep sending me offers for different cool plugins for my blog. I'm not offended. I expect them to sell me. But if I opt in to a personality and I am looking to them as a consultant or an advisor in my business, which is what attraction marketing is really about, and they are hard selling me, I'm going to opt out. And I'm going to opt out fast. Because I thought I was going into their classroom or their living room, and all of a sudden I ended up in a store. So everything is about how you're approaching and who you're approaching. If I go to a webinar and I know it's a sales webinar, and I know they're selling tonight, I'm not offended when the pitch comes, when the offer comes. I'm like, cool, there's an offer. If I go to a webinar and I think it's an educational webinar, can they soft sell me? Absolutely. Will they do sales? Absolutely. But if it's hard and heavy and every 3 minutes they're putting up a link to buy something, it's offensive. So the question becomes, how long do you want to keep the people with you? My mentor taught me, and I repeat this over and over and over, don't beg people for their money, beg them for their time. Because the longer they spend with me, the likelihood that they will buy from me goes up exponentially. The longer they spend with me, the likelihood that they will buy from me goes up exponentially, and the dollar amount that they will spend with me skyrockets. So I hope that's more of an answer than maybe you were looking for. But if I'm writing a sales set, I'm going to put click here, order here, order here, order. I'm going to be an infomercial. If I'm writing a letter set that's designed to develop my list and sell products and services as I go along, and here's the caveat, if you are in an MLM and you are recruiting in a network marketing company, you need to keep the people with you until they trust you so they join. If you offend them out of the gate, the chances of their joining you in that program that's going to give you long-term residual income is nil. Wow, deep stuff.
Yeah, and well, thank you for that answer. It's very thorough, but I think that really it differentiates the huge difference between what we really teach at MLSP for attraction marketing and then, just what pushing big numbers looks like in terms of like just trying to be an affiliate marketer. And there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with either one. It's just how are you building your list, and if you know the difference, then you know how to speak appropriately to whoever it is you're talking to.
And we have the best of everything here, which is really cool. Like, for example, Steve Jaffe comes in and Steve will teach on how he does webinars. And Steve will do a $10,000 webinar. I've done them myself. They're absolutely awesome. I recently did a $35,000 webinar. Do I like doing a $35,000 night? Believe me, guys, and by the way, those results are not typical, and I'm not telling you that you're going to get those kind of results from any particular entity. It's just something that I recently did. I love that, okay? Believe me, I like making sales. I like making sales all day long. But there's a difference between there's a difference between affiliate marketing and network marketing. And whether you're using the entity that we have here to bring people through a funnel and make sales, or whether you're looking to bring people through a funnel to recruit them into a long-term residual income plan. They're two different approaches, and it's the same with how we, and by the way, do I like both? Will I do a hardcore sales campaign sometimes on something if there's a launch or something? Yeah. A 10-day launch, I'm all over it. Let's sell, 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 sell. I'll run ads, I'll drive people through. But on the flip side, my main list, that's me, I don't want that to be hardcore because I want to keep the people with me. That's how I keep my open rate so high. That's how I keep people calling me every day. That's how I keep that energy. That's how I win the affiliate contest, because I have so many loyal people in my world. And that comes with treating them with a certain amount of respect, like they're family, like they're part of my business, whether they're right now buying from me or not. So they're both great. They're just different models.
Yep.
Warm and cold. And that's the thing that people get a little mixed up on. Who am I writing to? And if you ask that question before you ever write a letter, it will change everything. Okay, if I'm writing to my warm list of people that know me and trust me, then that's one way to write. And if I'm writing to cold list, then it's a whole nother way to write, because I got to sell. Excuse me, guys, phone's ringing.
That's one of those people calling you.
Well, here's what's cool.
Hotline ringing. That's ringing.
The bat line, the bat phone, right? What's really cool is when you're sorting through people through the email process, what happens is you only get calls from fairly serious people, and you only get so many a day. Like, people will worry, you put your phone number on your emails, don't they all call? No, they don't all call, guys. My phone number's everywhere. I own a business. I put my phone number out. Other internet marketers don't put their phone number out. I also use a Google Voice number, so if I want to turn it off, I can. It's no big deal. So let me look at the chat. But do you guys follow the difference? The difference between the two markets of people is profound. And both are great. One requires bigger numbers and more advertising or content creation, if that makes sense. So I'm looking to see what some of the people are saying.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, I think if you can identify, the type of marketing you're going for up front, then you're going to save a lot of people from jumping off your list if you know how to speak to them in the right way. It depends on your goal, like you said. Yeah. I think if people can grab that concept, it's huge. I mean, guys, I'm like a year in now, and I'm just now figuring that out still. I mean, it is definitely something that you have to practice on. So like me now, I try to speak to people in the right way so that I don't push a lot of unsubscribes, and I definitely notice when I start getting sales pitchy to my list of people that opted in from a video or from a training that I did, and then I got, do the link here, click here, like seriously, you can see the unsubscribes hitting that button, because you're like, oh, well, this isn't what I was wanting from her. And
here's the good news, Patricia. They come back. You keep creating good content. They go and then they come back. Like, I've seen so many people come full circle. In fact, it was funny. Brian McDaniel, who a lot of you guys know from MLSP, today he posted on Facebook. He made a great testimonial for me because he was in one of my courses. But Brian, when he met me, he says, "I used to hate you." And he said it straight up, and he's not the first person that said to me, "I hated you. I couldn't stand listening to you. You made me sick to my stomach." So,
oh my.
People come back. Well, I love it because I'm so straight up that people feel like they can be straight with me, and I laughed. Another day in advanced training, not here because it's not the appropriate venue, but we could talk about the concepts of polarization. Sometimes you hard sell your list to weed out. See, because if you have a big fat list but there's no buyers, That's not going to do you any good, right? We need a list of buyers. But if we have only people that are interested in, that get rich quick deal, they're not the type of people that are going to build our long-term residual income with us. So it's again, it's knowing your prospect, or knowing not your prospect, but who you want to be your prospect, right? Because a lot of people will say, well, I'm recruiting people, but I'm getting crummy people that don't do anything. Or some people will say, I get people, but they quit. So what we really want to do is really drill down on who do we want, and if we were them, how would we want to be communicated to? How do we want to get, like, I'm hardcore. I want it straight. I want it fast. I want it straight. I want to know the deal. I don't want fluff. Other people like fluff. Other people like, that environment and hugs and kisses and all that stuff, and that's cool. I did a training the other night on personality types, which, again, we don't have time to cover tonight, but different types want different information. So if we really know who we're talking to, we can write appropriately. But I will say that in attraction marketing, in my opinion, again, I think that all that click here, click here, click here, click here, click here, doesn't yield for the long term. If you guys want to build something, and this goes to show, look at who has the most longevity, who has the best retention. Because what good is signing people if they quit? That's what I always ask. On the flip side, I don't want a guy that ain't going to pull his weight. I want him to go. So it's all kinds of things that you want to look at. What kind of numbers does somebody have to do to get the results? I don't generate nearly as many leads as some other people. I think probably because I just don't need to, because I've gotten pretty skilled at the copy. So there's things to be said about honing this particular skill. Lead generation is the front end, and then you have that communication here, and then we have the closing. And there has to be a nice balance between all those sectors. Because if we generate, thousands of leads, but we're not closing them because our communication's stinky or the pages and things aren't converting, then we don't have anything. If we don't generate any leads, but we're a good communicator, but nobody's reading it, or hearing us, then that doesn't do us any good. It's that balance between all, the three-legged stool. It's going to fall over if we don't have the appropriate legs. So I think that, we're running out of time, but what I wanted for you guys most to get today is the importance of your headline. I think that warm market versus cold market was really profound. That is important for you guys to understand. For example, in MLSP, we have all those campaigns that are done for you. Cold market, those campaigns are like, I would use them. 100% I would use them before I would make my own, because they've been done by professional copywriters, they've been tested, they've been proven. Now, if I'm working off of my own list, would I necessarily, or my own like Facebook community, would I necessarily send them into a cold markety capture page? Probably not. I'd send them straight to presentations or through a page with my video on it and so on. What I love best, and we'll close with this and then any other questions. I don't even think I turned on the Q&A, but you guys might have closing statements too. MLSP has something for everybody from the beginner. You literally can be generating leads within your first couple of days, and you literally can be making sales within your first couple of days. With the done-for-you aspects of what we have, it's absolutely incredible. But we also have everything that a very advanced marketer needs, or an up-and-coming leader, because we have a place to store your own content, your own videos. We have ways for you to communicate internally with your team. We have all the Facebook apps. We have the ways for you to customize all your campaigns. You can add your videos, your headlines, etc. So as you learn, or as you're coming down the road, you have the best of both worlds. And that's what's really important. It's kind of like training wheels, and then through our training process and our Wednesday night industry-wide webinars and all this other stuff, it's kind of like somebody's running, holding the back, like the back of your banana seat. For those of you that are old enough to know, Bob and I know what a banana seat is. Somebody's holding the back of your bike, holding it. We take the training wheels off, and we get you writing your own headlines or your own videos, and we'll run and run and run with you. And then eventually we just let go, and you are a full-fledged professional marketer. And that is the exciting part for me, to watch people like Bert and Patricia and Bob come up the ranks and go pro. And that's what we're about. There's lots of places where you can go get something systematic, and they're all great. But here is where we take people from novices to professionals, and we have the track record to show that. We have just popped so many people that are multi-six-figure earners that came through this community. So that's what's exciting to me. And each new person that comes in the door, I know that they have that potential if they want to set themselves to it and sit down and learn. We have the training, we have the tools, we have the skill sets, we have the leadership to take you there. The question is, do you want to go? So let me give you guys that link one more time. Guys, if you're interested in Mastery, which is obviously our best deal, because that's when you get those pure profit products. I mean, one sale a month and you're in profit, depending on which product you sell.
Yep.
That's bizbuildermastery.com. I just put it out in the chat. That's the best plan that we have. It's certainly the plan that business people want to go look into. Or you can just go over to mlsp.com and check out all the different options and so on and so forth. We do have a trial for you. You can get into our library. We have all these. In fact, you can get in. If you get in there now, you can get Patricia's training from last Wednesday, which everybody raved about. It should be in the back office. I think it's there by now. So there's so many different things back there. There's training on every facet of marketing. There's YouTube. There's Twitter. There's Facebook. There's pay-per-click. There's anything you ever wanted to know about marketing. It is back there. And if you consider the annual plan for the Mastery, we not only give you the current training, we give you a 5-year library. Which, I mean, the people that have gone through here, that have gone on to make millions, and their training's all sitting back there, and you can get access to all of it. So it's huge.
I love it.
That's it. Guys, as always, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for being here and helping and monitoring the kids. Bert, you're quiet today, Bert. Are you taking it all in?
I like the copy stuff because, this is one of the areas where this was one of those, people don't get it, but this Monday webinar unlocked some big nuggets for me. The email list, that trick one time, the mumble, just the fact that we're supposed to be emailing. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing, Patricia's like, oh, I'm emailing my people. I'm like, oh, it's on automatic. I don't have to do that. It's on my autoresponder. And so I always get into this whenever you guys do this. So I'm been taking notes the whole time because my very first time I sent out an email, people responded. I was like, oh my gosh, watch it. Did you see what I just did? And then the next time, 17 people clicked or something. I was like, oh, my people are doing what I said. So when you guys do the copy stuff, this is a new area for me. So I try to, I get excited. I just was keeping on the inside today because I was writing it all down.
There you go. And the best part is, guys, it just takes a little practice. My original emails were I was selling weight loss back when I first started in network marketing, and it was like, hey, guy, no, in fact, it was one person, so I'd be like, hey, first name, here's a really cool story about a lady who thought she couldn't lose weight, and then she did. She went on to lose 27 pounds really fast. Click here to go read her story. That was my letter. My letter wasn't good. The letters were not, I didn't have good use of words. I just learned how to format them and put a link. And every letter had a link for them to either go read a story. Now, this is before video was available or anything, but it was always go read a story, go look at a picture, or go buy something. And I would alternate which command I gave them, but I always gave them a call to action. So every letter gave them something to do, and they would go look at the pictures, and then they'd write me back and go, oh, I relate to that lady, and I'd be like, great, let's get you started, And so it was very simple, not complicated, and to this day, everything we do, very, very, very simple stuff. Just learn how to write like you talk, and how would you talk to someone if you wanted to tell them about this product? How would you talk to them if you wanted to tell them, hey, come down Wednesday night, Patricia's doing a training, she's going to show exactly what she did to do this, this, and this. It's going to be cool, we're going to have a good time. Talk and write. If you need to, use your little iPhone thing and record into it, and then, copy and paste that into a letter. Just format it up a little bit. That's it. It's that simple. But you have to constantly communicate with people and give them a call to action. Tell them where to go. Tell them what to do. Give them a command. And you'll be stunned. They'll actually listen if you're consistent and they see you're stable. So, I got to run. I am meeting another multimillionaire in a couple of minutes, network marketing multimillionaire that's being introduced to me, so I'm excited to meet him. So, I love you all.
I'll be
And
right
I
over,
will see
Diane.
you guys next Wednesday. And, of course, this is open to the public. Feel free, if you're an MLSP member, the link comes to you every week. Feel free to invite people that you know, have them come on down, and we'd love to show them some tips and nuggets. And if you guys have any topics you want covered, let me know. You can find me in the MLSP Facebook group. Just let me know something that you're looking to learn. And on that note, I appreciate all of you, and I will. So look at that, Christy Robb saying Aweber is easy. The woman who didn't think she could figure it out, and now she's saying Aweber is easy. See, everybody can do this.
That's right.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks, Patricia Bob. Love you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.